staying with us on Mirror now. Our top story of the hour, the campus war over the BBC documentary on Prime Minister Modi refuses to die down. Now, after JNU and Jamia, now Delhi University and Ambedkar University have joined the chorus. In fact, high drama has now begun at the Ambedkar University over the BBC documentary. Electricity has been disconnected and the gates have been closed. Ambedkar University had in fact verbally asked students not to screen the documentary. The documentary will be screened at the North Campus of Delhi University at around 5 p.m. today is also what we're picking up. A similar screening has been scheduled at Ambedkar University as well. Meanwhile, in Chennai, Madras University will also be screening the documentary despite government restrictions on it.
हम लोग यहाँ पे स्क्रीनिंग करने के लिए आए हुए थे बीबीसी की डॉक्यूमेंट्री द मोदी क्वेश्चन और यहाँ एडमिन और यहाँ के सिक्योरिटी गार्ड से आके जैसे कि आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ से हम लोग का स्क्रीन लगा दिया गया है और हम लोग यहाँ पे बीबीसी का प्रोजेक्शन नहीं करने दे रहे हैं.
All right, so clearly the BBC documentary's campus war continues. Initially, we had seen JNU, Jamia, and now it has gone over to Ambedkar University as we speak. In fact, even in Chennai, we're understanding that Madras University will also be screening the documentary. But let me first cut across to my colleague Ishika, who's been continuously tracking the story for us. Ishika, very good afternoon. I do understand that you're reporting from outside Ambedkar University. In fact, when we were speaking earlier, the visuals were quite dramatic in nature. But talk to us about what is happening so far and what is the university also saying, and has the security been amped up after the fact that we have been seeing this protest since morning?
Well, yes, Nivedna, I'm present right now outside the Ambedkar University where we saw a lot of drama happened, because of the screening of the BBC documentary. Even right now, I'd like to show you here that as of now, the police unit of the DCP North that had went inside, they tried to pacify the students, and right now you can clearly see that many of them have been dispersed as of now. Now, clearly, what we witnessed here was, that a verbal tussle was going on between the AVVP and the SFI students. Continuously we saw, the SFI students raising slogans against the authority and, also raising slogans of Jai Bhim. And while the AVVP students, were raising the slogans of Jai Shri Ram. So what we saw, throughout the day was that, that a verbal tussle was, continuously going on between the two student unions, while the authorities were also in alert. They had also, taken, the strict rule, and in fact, many of the security guards were present here at the moment. They were continuously trying to, disperse the crowd, and that is why electricity, in fact, was cut, and that is why the students here, the student unions here, decided to do a mass screening of, in fact, the mass screening here, and that is why they did it through the QR code. And in fact, even then, the authorities, in fact, what they did was they tried to stop even that. And now, we saw the students coming here just, near the gate, and then, they started even singing songs. We have, one of the students here who's the SFI AUD president. Will go across to him. We want to know from you what will happen inside the campus after you decided to do a mass screening through the QR code. What was, what did the authorities do?
So the initial plan was to screen it, to present it on a screen, and we had got a projector for that. But since the electricity was cut in the canteen area, interestingly, the admin block was getting all the electricity, but in the canteen area, the electricity was cut. So that meant that students were forced, because we were determined to watch the movie today. So we shared the links. We had QR codes, so we circulated them, and every student on their phone, in groups of 2, 3, 4 people, on their phones, on their laptops, everyone watched the movie, and they got to know the truths about the Modi government.
So, we also saw that the police went inside the campus. What was done after that?
So, it's a historic thing. It has never happened in the history of AUD that police, also in such huge number, has entered the campus. And all of that was to disrupt the screening, to probably taking note of what has happened in Jamia, what has happened in JNU, to probably detain students. But because students stood strong, so the police could not interfere, but they were still here. Their threat was there that they could detain us, they could arrest us. So all of that was there, but students managed to watch the whole film, had a public gathering, and now we are moving ahead. to the next stage where we will circulate the links of the movie even further.
So you will circulate, the links of the movies, but we also want to know that many of the students allege that they were mishandled by the authorities, by the college authorities.
Exactly. So, very early morning when we came to campus, guards were told by the administrative members to check each and every student's bags. Again, this is unprecedented. This has never happened in AUD. And in the name of checking the ID cards of students, they were harassing students. They were not letting students in. Some students were detained at the gate for hours. So all of these kind of things were happening. And then we later saw police coming in, electricity going off, and ABVP members raising communal slogans in between the screening, in between the public gathering, saying Jai Shri Ram, saying Radhe Radhe, and stuff like that, praising Savarkar, saying Savarkar ke naam pe bolo Vande Mataram, and things like that. So things of that nature were happening throughout the few hours that the screening went on, the public meeting.
So, authorities were very strict, but, was it because of the reason that you guys also did not, get the permission for the screening?
So, yeah.
Interject you at the moment, but stay with me because we're of course continuously tracking this big story here on Mirror now. So let me cut across to my colleague Dharani, who's joining me live on the broadcast from Chennai. Dharani, very good afternoon. Of course, the campus throw now, my colleague Ishika was of course pointing out what is happening in the national capital, but we're also picking up that in the Madras University as well, students are looking to be screening this documentary. What is the current situation over there? Are there protests also underway, and what is the security situation at the moment? And as you give us those details, has any reaction come in from the university's end?
Well, in fact, right now I'm standing inside the Madras University campus near the Centenary Auditorium, and as you can see in the visuals behind me, around 10 to 15 students of the Madras University belonging to the SFI, they are currently watching the BBC documentary. In fact, their laptops are open, and you can see in the visuals that they are right now playing this documentary along with the speaker. They have a speaker nearby, and they are watching this documentary. Around 15 people belonging to the SFI at the Madras University. So, of course, the representatives of the college administration, they have come here and they are trying to pacify the students. They are trying to tell the students to go out of the university campus and then watch the documentary. But the students are very adamant. They are not ready to move an inch. In fact, they are sitting here. On the ground, and they are watching this documentary in their laptop with a speaker. So the students are telling that they particularly want to watch this documentary inside the campus only. They don't want to go outside and watch. So that is what their point of view is. And in fact, the police deployment is also very heavy. Around 50 to 100 police personnel have been put in place to ensure that nothing goes out of hand. So of course these police personnel, they are watching whatever is happening here. They are in fact right now very close to these students, and they are making sure no inconvenience is caused to other students and faculty members of this Madras University. In fact, right now I'll go to a few of the protesters. A few of the students are watching this documentary here to understand what they would like to tell. So, இந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்ரி வந்து தமிழ்ல பேசுங்க. ஓகே. யா, இப்போ இது காலேஜ் பெர்மிஷன் இல்லைன்னு சொல்றாங்க, பட் அதையும் மீறி நீங்க போட்டிருக்கீங்க.
ஆக்சுவலி இது என்னன்னா, நாங்கள் எங்களுடைய லேப்டாப்பில் நாங்கள்லாம் இங்கே படிக்கக்கூடிய மாணவர்கள், நாங்கள் இன்னைக்கு இந்த பிபிசி வெளியிட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய இந்த ஆவணப்படத்தை நாங்கள் இன்னைக்கு பார்க்கறது அப்படின்ற ஒரு முடிவில் நாங்கள் வாரம் இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டடி சர்க்கிள்ஸ் நடத்துவோம். கல்வி நிலையத்தில் மாணவர்களுக்கு ஒரு ஜனநாயகம் இருக்குது. நாங்கள் ஒரு புக்ஸை படிச்சுட்டு அது சம்மந்தமாக பேசுறதோ, அதே மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி ஆவணப்படங்கள் பார்த்துட்டு அது குறித்தான விவாதங்களை முன்னெடுக்கிறதோ நாங்கள் தொடர்ச்சியாக நடத்துறது தான். ஆனால் இன்னைக்கு ஏன் அது பிரச்சனை ஆகுது அப்படின்றது தான் நாங்கள் கேள்வி எழுப்புறோம்.
So basically she is telling that these people, they always have a study circle, and they kind of play a documentary or a movie every week to learn new stuff. So that is the only reason why they are playing this documentary also. But however, when they are trying to play this documentary, the scene in the college is like totally different. The university administration is not allowing them to watch the documentary. In fact, the security guards at all the gates of this college, they are making sure nobody else apart from students are entering the university campus too. And that is something that is very new to these people, because Madras University is a university where a lot of people come and go, even people who are not students. So of course the security has been tightened, and the screening is currently underway. They are watching the documentary, and of course the college administration is trying to pacify them, and they are trying to take these students out of the university campus and
but
make
Dharani,
them
as you point that out, this
inside.
debate also becomes about censorship versus the rights that students have, right? What is the take on that front, if you could talk to us about it?
Of Of course, yeah. So when I was talking to one of the students who's sitting over here, she told me that around 40 to 50 people, they always have a study circle kind of a thing, and every week they play a documentary or a movie. They come together to this very spot where I'm standing right now, and they would screen all the movies and documentaries every week to increase their knowledge. But likewise, when they try to play this particular documentary, as I told, the situation is like completely different. The administration is not allowing them. In fact, when we tried confronting the university administration about this, the VC of the university, he told us that there is no permission for students to watch this documentary inside the university campus. They are telling that if the students want to watch it outside the campus, we don't have an issue, they can do it, but inside the campus is not allowed. That is what the university administration is telling. But these students are telling that as students, it is a democratic right of them, not only them but for anybody to watch whatever they want. It is a democratic country after all, and these people are keeping these points again and again in front, telling that as students they have the right to watch this documentary because it is not something that is illegal. So it is not something that is that's been banned completely by the government. So they are telling that only if the government is going to provide something in letter telling that this documentary is illegal and that it cannot be watched, they'll be stepping back. Otherwise they'll be like watching this documentary. That is what they are telling.
All right, Harini, thank you very much for getting us the latest on that. But of course, we'll keep coming back to you as we have more inputs on this big story that we're tracking here on Mirror Now. But for the moment, we leave it to that and shift our